Doug Logan along with Gary Montgomery at the New York State Fairgrounds, and we are reaching the latter moments of our Phase 300. The leader is Doug Hoffman. In second, it's Danny Johnson. Let's go down to Danny Johnson's pit and Cowboy Paul Small.
Doug, I'm with Ed Burgess, crew chief for Danny Johnson's Freightliner number 6. And the main question is, do you guys have enough mustard to catch this Hoffman car?
Doug's really fast right now. You know, we just have to sit back, go to the next couple of laps, and hope for the best.
How about the fuel and tire situation?
Everybody seems to be having a little bit of problems with tires right now. We just, hope the big man upstairs is looking down on us.
Let's see if there are any problems for race leader Doug Hoffman. Andy Fusco is in the Billy Taylor pit.
Thank you, Paul. Billy Taylor, Danny Johnson used to drive for you. What do you think he'll try to do right now to beat you?
Well, it's going to be a tough run, but I got an awful good race car right now, and I got a Ron Hutter motor, brand new, and I feel real good.
Billy Taylor ought to run for president the way he doesn't answer the questions, guys.
Lucky 13 laps to go. And Doug Hoffman looks to be the better of the machines out there. He's got that lead with Danny Johnson losing a little bit of ground here.
He is losing a little bit of ground indeed to the leader. And in the meantime, Kenny Tremont has closed the gap on Danny Johnson. That hole in turn 3 continues to be larger and larger. And there's some of them running right through it every lap. That's tough on suspension parts.
Hoffman, Johnson, Kenny Tremont, Joe Plozak, and Jack Johnson, the top 5.
Running in 6 is Steve Payne. Pat Ward is 7. Bobby Varian is 8. Scott Prentice is 9. And rounding out the top 10 now is Ricky Elliott. Clearing our last caution period, Dave Blaney made a pit stop, and he's out of the top 10.
The leader into turn 4 and down the front straightaway, Doug Hoffman.
As you can see, he has opened up a comfortable margin over Danny, who now has a little bit of breathing room.
Oh, he slid out high.
Right through that. That's the hole in turn 2. So the holes in turns 2 and 3 could be a factor here in these final laps.
All part of the variables of dirt track racing.
There'll be 11 to go when they cross the line this time. Plozak running at 4, Jack Johnson 5. Front 3 drivers all using Troyer chassis. Back in the 4 spot is the LTR Special of Joe Plozak, the long track racer car. Running in the number 5 spot, Jack Johnson and Olson car. Payne running in the 6th spot. He drives a McNell chassis car.
About a 4-second lead for Doug Hoffman over the 2nd place competitor, Danny Johnson. 10 laps to go here in Syracuse. And the richest payday of them all in dirt track auto racing is just 10 laps away for Doug Hoffman. Can he keep it together?
The battle right now is that one on the screen. Kenny Tremont running in the number 3 spot, Joe Plozak in 4. Everybody else pretty much stretched out and running all alone, but that's the race as Joe Plozak is all over Kenny Tremont here in the final stages. He looks to the inside down the front straightaway, can't make it, backs out of it as Tremont slams the door as they enter turn number 1. Now in turn 2, the door was open, but both cars washed out, so Plozak was not able to make the pass.
So the battle for 3rd continues. Kenny Tremont and Joe Plozak. Tremont in the 115, Plozak in the white number 1.
The guy that can make his car stick on the bottom, the furthest through the corners, will have the advantage in that little deal, but it appears that both cars are about the same shape as far as tires and handling, because neither can stick on the bottom all the way through either end of the speedway. Plozak may have lost a little more ground there.
8 laps to go. Car in the pits.
It's Eddie Marshall. He was just out of the top 10. I think he was running maybe 11th, possibly 12th. Driver out of Pound Ridge, New York. 2nd generation driver Eddie Marshall, the Marshall Oil Olsen Eagle.
And Marshall's back out. There's Doug Hoffman, and his heart has to be beating like a drum right now.
Unbelievable. He has been close, but no cigar.
He has endured so much frustration, and the frustration has continued all the way to today, but not at this moment.
Really slow.
first we heard from Billy Taylor telling his driver 10 to go. And I couldn't identify the voice of the second crew chief telling him slow to go or whatever that message was.
Well, he continues to expand his lead.
32.4.
It is almost as if Danny Johnson now, as opposed to actually battling for the lead, is trying to hang on to that second spot.
That's the case because Tremont and Plazik are closing in. Slow down a couple of tenths, will you? Save that gas, Doug. Okay, so this thing, Taylor's so very, very optimistic when he talks to Paul Small, but there's a message. Slow down, Doug. Slow down. Save gas and tires.
And 5 laps to go, says starter Dave Farney, as Hoffman is into turn 1. Now turn 2, and he rockets down the backstretch. There's a look at Billy Taylor. What a crowning moment this would be if Doug Hoffman can bring it home.
Danny Johnson holds on to the number 2 spot. Tremont is there. It appears that Plazik has nothing for Tremont any longer.
Remember, this is the backup car for Doug Hoffman. A backup car, and he is about to taste the fruits of victory.
Actually, I'm not sure. They've switched back and forth. This may be the primary car with the backup engine, but then we heard Taylor say he had a new engine in it. So I don't know that we've got it all figured out. I don't know if they've got it all figured out. They're not telling us everything.
The backup car's engine in this car.
Okay. So this is the car chassis that they brought to run here. But the motor is either the backup motor, small short track motor, or a brand new one, depending on which story you want to believe for Billy Taylor.
Danny Johnson second, Kenny Tremont third, fourth Joe Plazik. And we are about to get the sign of 2 laps remaining.
Tremont close to Danny Johnson as they work out of 2 and head down the back straightaway. Excuse me, that was at turn 3 through 4 now.
And nervous times in the pits. 2 laps to go. There's your second place car, Danny Johnson. 5-second lead for Doug Hoffman. He just has to bring it home.
Nobody's going to touch Hoffman if he doesn't have a problem. The battle is for 2 and 3.
And we have a crash. Jimmy Hauser.
Hauser is involved, and oh my goodness, they're going to have to go yellow, and this race will not end under yellow. Gas mileage, if it was a problem, will be a bigger. Well, they haven't yet displayed the yellow.
1 lap remaining. 1 lap remaining. We remain green on the race course. Doug Hoffman is now in turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Doug Hoffman, the race leader, and he's way out in front. Hoffman steering that number 1 into turn 3. He slides just a little bit. The rear end wanted to come out into turn 4. Down the front straightaway. The checkered flag is out, and Doug Hoffman is the winner of the Silver Anniversary Phase 300.
Great job. Can you imagine the emotion? Hoffman and Taylor. This will be a celebration royale. I hope that Paul Small is there to pick this one up. Taylor will be jumping and hollering and shouting. What a party this will be.
Over 400 career wins for Doug Hoffman, but this is the big one.
The one he's been looking for so very, very long. 37-year-old professional race car driver. In his spare time, he and his brother operate Hoffman Brothers Speed and Equipment down in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh my, you really have to feel very, very pleased for that man right there, Doug Hoffman in the Phil Chevrolet car, and Billy Taylor. During the summer, he told us we are going for it, and they have gotten it. Let's go down to the pits now. Andy Fusco is with Billy Taylor.
Thanks a lot, Doug. Billy, have you ever been happier?
No, this is it. This puts the frosting on the cake. I worked hard. I worked real hard last week, and I built this car in exact 7 days, racing the short track racing, and I put this car together, Doug and I. This is our deal.
You began the year in Winston Cup. You end the year in Victory Lane in Syracuse. Quite a 360-degree turn.
Because Doug called me, and I didn't like the Winston Cup guys. They didn't understand what I was all about. And I called my brother, and he's the guy that forged this whole deal for me. And I couldn't do it without him. I wish he was here today to enjoy this. But I know he's at home, and God damn it, we won this deal.
Go join your driver, buddy. We all understand what you're about.
Thank you.
Back up to Doug and Gary in the tower.
Heartiest congratulations to Doug Hoffman. We will be going down to Victory Lane to visit with our champion, Doug Hoffman, when we come back. Our special Rush Hour will continue. This is the Phase 300 at Super Dirt Week in Syracuse. We'll be right back.
Rush Hour Super Dirt Week.
Doug Logan along with Gary Montgomery back at the New York State Fairgrounds. The winner of our Super Dirt Week Phase 300 is Doug Hoffman, and let's go down to Victory Lane.
Hoffman, congratulations. You finally made it to victory in the 300.
Believe it. You know, it really hasn't sank in yet, but the Phil Chevrolet crew did an outstanding job. We went with our game plan. It actually worked for a change. I mean, we had bad luck all week long, and I just can't believe we're here. Thank you, Billy Taylor and Billy Colton from Troy Engineering, 97 car. It was just unbelievable. At the end of the race, they kept slow me down. The car just felt so good going fast that they just wanted me to conserve fuel. But I mean, we made it here. Unbelievable. It's such a great feeling.
Years and years of frustration finally gets a payoff.
Well, you know, I've been so close so many times, and we just had such bad luck. And I've seen guys do it, having a week of bad luck and then coming out winning the race, and I just didn't figure I was ever going to do it that way, and I really'd rather not go through Super Dirt Week the way things went this year. But what an ending to a absolutely unbelievable week, and I just can't be more happier with the work. The guys worked so hard on the race car. I mean, they had to switch motors and drag another car. I mean, it was just a lot of work all week long, and it all paid off.
When do you think this is finally going to sink in for you?
I think when everybody leaves and we get a chance to be alone with just me and the crew and talk about what happened, I think it'll finally sink in. But it's just, I finally won one of these things. You know, I've been trying so hard. I've been so fast up here for so many years and come away empty. And this year it all went our way.
Congratulations. Fantastic victory.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody back home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 25th annual Phase 300 is Doug Hoffman. Doug?
Oh, congratulations to Doug Hoffman, and he is unbuckled and he's about to climb out and greet the adoring fans here at the New York State Fairgrounds. There he is, Doug Hoffman, the winner of the Silver Anniversary Phase 300. For Gary Montgomery, Paul Small, and Andy Fusco and the entire Rush Hour on Dirt crew, this is Doug Logan saying thank you for joining us, and so long for now. The executive producer of Rush Hour on Dirt is Glenn Donnelly. Rush Hour on Dirt is a production of Dirt Motorsports and a presentation of Sports Channel.